you qualify? Yes, that is a covers of a Gorillaz on Melancholy Hill by Aluminum. I'm sorry. Yeah, Aluminum. Are you qualified is what I'm yakking about today. And I wanted to shout out to all y'all who are in seasons of trouble. Are you in a valley? Are you in a wilderness season? Are you in a long dark night of the soul? Are you trapped there? And I wanted to give you a word of encouragement and then a word of clarification on that encouragement. Psalm 121, 1 through 4. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. And I think we've all been there, right? Where you just feel in the bottom, in the doldrums, and you're just like, where? You know, my friends still love me, you know, other things may be going seemingly there to help, and yet they don't, and you're still lost there and down there. And we've all been there, or if you haven't, you need to feel a little bit more, or get off the drugs. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. One of the most beautiful things God has offered since, and this is Old Testament, like, rah, scary God. And even so in this, he so gently offers this. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He never sleeps nor slumbers, but delights to come and rescue you over and over and over again. Sometimes you just have temporal problems, we have temporal issues, we have physical ailments that are merely physical, sadnesses that are merely circumstantial. And those things I think can be sometimes treated, if they are wholly that, treated by temporal means. But I think we've all experienced that sadness, depth of sorrow, disturbance, confusion that goes far, far beyond what you could easily describe. And you feel very alone in it. And there's a healthy thing to that, and indeed that we are all alone. Born alone, die alone. But we need not be alone. And this psalm may as well be my cry out, in that my help comes from the Lord. In those seasons, the only help I've ever cried out for that is not only moved in that season, but moved in anything resembling effective ways, has been help from God Himself. The lovely and beloved and beloving Creator of all things. And I come on here every day hoping to shine His light and offer His help if I can be a conduit for it. But then also I don't want to tell you like that you can walk apart from Him and still call Him His help forever. Because some of us may be in those long dark nights of the soul that we might recognize our position of enmity. And I want to read the second thing. This is the help from God. Sounds great, right? Supernatural, immortal, eternal, powerful, a shake-up of the very tendrils of creation that bind us all. And yet, are you qualified to reach out? And indeed, I would say reach out now and find out. Colossians 1:10 through 12. That you may have a walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing Him, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God, strengthened with all might, according to his glorious power, for all patience and long-suffering with joy, giving thanks to the Father who has qualified us to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in the light. I hope that was an answer different than you were expecting, which was, are you qualified in and of yourself? You never would be. I never would be. Never will be. But indeed, we are qualified by, what is the word? Subsummation, maybe, of the grace of Christ, by God's own hand, by God's own movement in the world, that you might never be lost in this world, but be forever guided by the light of true north and sustained and growing in. And the beauty of God too is that sometimes actually you can spend your whole life telling God to F off, and yet when you truly cry out to him, he will still come and swoop you up. But the thing is, do you want to keep just waiting till you're at rock bottom, or would you like to start a journey where you are sustained and rejoicing, even in suffering, even in those seasons, that you do not wail and you do not look about to the hills and wonder where your salvation will come from, but rather in every season, however low, you know. My prayer is that you would know. Peace be unto you. Amen and Selah.